Hey plebs, welcome to the respawn point.
Welcome to your ninth respawn.
We know Monday is your least favorite day, so we're here to help you get back in the game or a week.
Respawn Mondays is a show all about some of our favorite games, including PUBG, Battlefront, Overwatch, and Ark. With a changing list as we continue to pick up and drop different games. We're your average gamers, trying to get through the work week with some sweet relaxation playing time. So before respawning back into the week, take a breather and let us catch you up.
Today we'll be covering the Blizzcon 2017 event and all the interesting upcoming news items, and then we'll also be covering some miscellaneous news things for some of the random games that we play. So we are your hosts, Nick Barry.
And Elias Christensen.
So Elias, how's your Monday been?
Uh, Pretty good. Pretty good. Still sort of been working. I've been playing a lot of Ark in the last 36 hours. Um, because they had, like we're going to talk about, they had some really crazy rates this weekend. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we had gotten wiped and now we're restarting again, so I did a lot of work on that and it's sort of paying off, so I'm happy to see that. Mostly my Monday was just running errands, but I also played some Ark and watched some Walking Dead because
Really?
I'm just now watching season 7, and I don't know if it's the best season, but Negan is the best bad guy. And
Yeah,
it's
I stopped watching that show like a couple of seasons ago.
yeah, like season 5 or something, right?
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of the how intense it was getting, and then
Yeah.
especially with spoiler alert, Glenn's death, which is old news. But that was like, I wasn't watching the show, but I looked it up on YouTube, and I was like, yeah, I'm all set.
Yeah.
It was a little much.
Yeah. I would say the only thing about Negan, and this isn't any spoilers or anything, but it's the only time in the show's history that I see what's bad is happening to the main group, and I go like, man, that stinks. Like I, I don't necessarily feel bad all the time because it's like, well, you did. There's some they did some things. They sort of caused some of the things that happened, and Negan is just follows through. Like he doesn't lie. He's 100% honest about the way that he runs the show. you know.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
Hmm.
how's your Monday been?
Good work as usual. Um, just yeah, work, and then ready to play some games after the show. And I was playing some games before the show,
Sweet, sweet.
and yeah, so normal Monday.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Segueing into what we've been playing, because you mentioned you're
yeah,
playing some games. I'm seeing something interesting on the dock. What have you been
yeah.
playing
This
this week?
is this is this is new, and it's actually not even out yet. It doesn't come out until this Friday, the 10th. It's Need for Speed Payback. It's the newest Need for Speed game.
Okay.
Um, So the thing is that I bought Origin Access for the month because I wanted to play Battlefront 2 early on the 9th, which is actually was it Thursday. So I saw Need for Speed was going to be having like a 10-hour trial like Battlefront on the last Friday, which is the 3rd. So I'm like, hey, let me play this. I like Need for Speed. So I've just been playing that a little bit. I'm like 2.5 hours in probably of the 10-hour trial.
Oh, cool.
Um,
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty fun. I mean, the graphics are ridiculous. I think so far what I've seen has been like pretty positive. I wasn't because I know like Need for Speed Rivals got a lot of backlash because it was like always online, I think, or something to that extent.
Oh.
And it was like all about competing against other players, which is fun, but like it was only like there was no just like offline type single player. Like I'm not exactly sure because I didn't play it, but so far what I've seen of this game is that it kind of takes like it's well, I'll say this: it has like a lot of. I mean, it's Need for Speed, so there's a lot of like nighttime racing, but there's also like a mixture of like off-road racing in like the desert part of the map
Yes.
and
This is what I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I mean, the thing that's interesting, I would say, is that there seems to be like a card system that upgrades stuff. Like instead of like using your cash to like buy upgrades, you kind of get three cards. You get to select one of three cards at the end of a race that you win, and then that it's like a random chance of it being like a better card than one you already have. Like say for example, you have your turbo is like level 3, and then
Okay.
at the end of a race, actually this just happened before the show. I was playing and my turbo was level 3 or whatever. Then I got a card and it was level 7. It was like a huge upgrade, boosted me my horsepower, all that jazz.
Nice.
So it's an interesting system. It's kind of like what we've been talking about recently in the past couple of shows, like the type of just like card system that we see in games now. I'm
Yeah.
not exactly. I don't know. Can you? I don't even know.
I
I don't know
don't.
if you
I
if
don't
you
know
can
what it
buy
is.
more cards. I don't know if it's like a microtransaction or if it's just like their way of. Because I even know, like for example, like the Call of Duty, like they're doing something very similar where not that I played the game, but I just saw that you run around and like you literally run around with other people like an MMO, and then you go and you buy crates and they open up with cards. It was really weird.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. That's. I don't get what it is about cards specifically. Like they could be anything. You could theme them to the game. Like in Call of Duty, it could be badges. It could be like lapel like pins or whatever. But no, cards. Every game. I guess
yeah,
it's easy to understand. I don't know. Maybe it's nice to market something that everyone else is doing, but
yeah. I don't know. I
it does
mean,
feel like every game has cards in it now for
right.
that
I
do
don't know.
random
I'm
things.
not. I'm not against it. I just think it's like kind of like there's like a chance factor there because you could pick one of the three cards and it could be a really crappy card. Maybe if you picked a different one, it would be better. So I'm not sure. Like I know you have like a power rating for your vehicle, and so the next race that you want to do it has like a recommended power ranking. So if you don't have a high enough level, you don't have to. Like I did beat a race that I was lower than the recommended, but they kind of want you to go back and do a race you already completed to have a chance of getting a higher card.
Uh,
So I don't know. I'm not against it. I just thought it was a little interesting. I'm not used to that for a Need for Speed game. But besides that,
yeah.
I thought it was really fun. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, Need for Speed hit its peak for me at Underground 2. Um, and I think it's probably just gonna stay that way. I know Ethan played Undercover a ton
yeah,
and loved it. I maybe I'll give this one a chance. It's been a while since I played a Need for Speed game. Um, that seems like an
yeah,
interesting, yeah, like advancement thing. But I don't know.
yeah.
I could get back into a driving game. I played. Yeah, we were talking about it a while. I've been playing Dirt 4 or whatever it is,
Oh yeah, that's right.
and not recently, but I do like driving games. Maybe a game with more drifting would be fun too.
Yeah, no, there's drifting, there's off road, there's normal, racing. I was kind of impressed. I was having fun with it. I haven't played the last Need for Speed game I liked was Carbon, back for like the PS2 and Xbox 360. So
Carbon. I
yeah,
remember seeing that one, but I don't remember much about it.
that one was pretty awesome. There's like different districts. You have to take over the district before you can take over the main guy, and there's a lot of cool cars and all the auto sculpting and different hood scoop things, and so it was like I don't know. To me, it was like the best Need for Speed game. Um, at least it was the best last one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But this one's pretty. This one has. I mean, you kind of expect it now in 2017, but the cutscenes. Oh my goodness, the graphics! It's like watching a movie.
Yeah.
Like this, the story. Like I'm actually pretty excited about the story. Like it reminds me of like a Fast and Furious movie, basically, where you have like your typical white guy who's basically like Paul Walker, and then there's like the black guy, and then like the white girl, and then you have your Asian or Japanese like mechanic guy. And I'm like, this is just like Fast and Furious. This is awesome. So
Yeah. Yeah. Um, good stories. I remember in Need for Speed Underground 2, I don't even know what her name. Oh, Carmen Electra played Rachel, and just like always getting the call to like, hey, you better head over here. Something's going down, and you're just like, like boosting off over to. Yeah, I do remember loving the storyline in racing games.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So anything else you've been playing?
Just PUBG. Last thing I want to say was just I think the Origin access is like pretty underrated. Like I don't know, like you get obviously it's a subscription, so you have to keep paying for it. But I think I talked about this last week. I was able to download Mirror's Edge. Like I don't know, like I think it's a really cool feature that's only $5 a month, and it does give you a 10% discount off of games. So if you decide to buy one EA game a month, you're already making it worth it. Because if you buy a $60 game, you get like you save $5 with a 10%. So just I think it's cool.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, Free games are always good, or free access anyway.
That too.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, I played some PUBG with you guys. Like I said, I've been playing some Ark. And then I saw like the Halloween event was ending just about the same time um the season was starting, season 7. And I
Yep.
had just gone in there to check out, some of the skins, see what like the Junkenstein's Revenge game mode, play that a little bit because I knew it was ending soon and I hadn't tried it out yet. So then I sort of stuck around in it for another day and I placed high silver. Um, so I'm bad at Overwatch, but it was pretty fun. I think I might try to grind up to gold. See how that goes.
Yeah, I haven't played Overwatch in a long time. Like I was thinking about the other day. I'm like actually kind of missing it in a weird way.
Yep.
Obviously it's a good game, but like I don't know. Like it is like a really fun game. I just haven't played it in so long. Like maybe I should break it up with my other games and
Yeah.
step into it every now and again.
Managing multiple games is so hard.
So hard.
Like, yeah, I do want to play it. Like, I think I'm gonna try to play Overwatch once a week.
Hmm.
But at that rate, it's like, well, I'm trying to play like one game a night now or something. Like, if I'm playing games like 4 nights a week, it's like,
Right.
which is already like improbable, you know, depending on things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, that gets hard. But yeah, we should try to play maybe Wednesday. Oh no, you're busy that
Um.
night. We can play after though.
Yeah. Yeah. We should try to make sometime this week.
Yeah, yeah, that's just what I've been thinking. Like, that's when I want to play Overwatch. Like, I was thinking
Yeah.
Wednesdays for Overwatch, but yeah, we can talk about that
Right.
later. Uh,
Okay. So do you want to get into the main discussion then?
yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay, all right. This week, guys, we're going to be talking about BlizzCon, big event this past weekend, and so we figured we would just go over some of the new things that they talked about over the weekend. So, Elias, do you want to go into the first thing here?
Yeah, sure. So first big thing, pretty huge thing, StarCraft 2 is going free to play. Pretty much. There are still going to be, and we'll get into it, but there's going to be things you can pay for. But the Wings of Liberty campaign and all of the competitive multiplayer content is going to be free to play, including every co-op commander, um, which that's like a whole feature of the game that I just did a little bit of research on. I don't know too much about it, but basically, if you want to play any form of multiplayer, even if it's not competitive, you'll be able to use all the units. Um, the Okay, so you get the Wings of Liberty campaign, but if you already own Wings of Liberty, you'll receive the second installment in StarCraft Two's campaign, which is the Heart of the Swarm. And then I don't think they mention that if you have own Heart of the Swarm, you would get Legacy of the Void and concurrent releases. But I would think there'd be an argument for that being the case. I don't know. They didn't really go into that.
Right.
Um,
So I think because StarCraft two, the base game, how or whatever, it was already free to play. Because I know I downloaded it like a month or two ago and tried to play it and didn't.
oh, okay.
So I think maybe it's going free to play for that first DLC, maybe.
Okay, so you're saying the competitive game was free to play previously, or
I'm
the
not.
Wings of Liberty? I know you could get a free trial. I know they gave out free trials for
Maybe that was it.
ostensibly.
I'm not exactly sure. I just know that because obviously we play Overwatch, so in the Blizzard launcher there was StarCraft two, and I'm like, oh, I was really into RTS games for like a few weeks, and so I downloaded it.
Hmm. Yeah, we have Artful Dodger in the chat, and I know he plays a lot of StarCraft 2. He says when playing StarCraft 2 multiplayer, everybody gets bumped up to the highest expansion in the group. Yeah, yeah, which makes sense. So, and that's just going to be the case for the free-to-play players. I guess
Oh,
they're just reinforcing that. For
that's
people that
cool.
don't know anything about StarCraft 2, it was comforting to see it. Um, yeah, so you'll be able to play ranked. And then if you want to play the other single player campaigns, you want to buy them and play through them. Heart of the Swarm, Legacy of the Void, and Nova Covert Ops will be able to purchase individually for $14.99 or as a bundle for $39.99. Which I guess pretty much the price of one game. You get 3 expansions. That's pretty good. That's what
Yeah.
I'd be getting because I don't own any of them, as far as I know. So, and then, as with the existing line of co op commanders, however, you will be able to play upcoming new co op commanders who are released for free until they reach level 5. So, I guess if that's something you want to level up, you may have to purchase or spend some in game points or something like that.
Hmm.
Again, I wish I knew more about StarCraft 2 to cover this.
Yeah, it looks really pretty. Like I try to play the original StarCraft, and I don't know. RTS games are really hard for me. Like I used to play Age of Empires too, and that was fun. But I was like a lot younger then, and it was just fun. I try to play it like now and trying to learn like to actually get good and like know
Yeah.
like what troops to make, and I don't
having
know.
having
I
your
don't know.
it takes like having your build list, understanding and being good at managing control groups, which
Yeah.
I was not at all.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just a genre that like I can actually get good at, or because it's all about like different strategies. Where like okay, like there's a strategy of getting to tech level two really fast, then in going to attack and all this different. It's so complicated.
It is. It's a similar thing. It's a highly evolved meta because people have been playing StarCraft, not necessarily 2, but StarCraft for 30 years.
Yeah,
So, yeah, it's very refined. It's like getting into competitive chess. Like, you know?
it's like the oldest game ever.
But, yeah, I see the point there. I did used to play Warcraft 3.
Oh,
Um,
I love Warcraft 3. That game was so fun.
yeah, that was pretty fun. I do think I was playing it at a time that the competitive scene had mostly died out and people had moved over to StarCraft 2.
Right.
Um, so I had sort of easy pickings. But my brother Ethan was better at Warcraft 3 than me, just flat out. Um, so yeah, that gives you sort of a rundown of how good, like my experience with RTS at all.
Yeah.
Artful Dodger clarified. He said all of the first three, I believe, co-op commanders that we're talking about here, came with each subsequent expansion. Nova was the first pay-to-add campaign, so I'm guessing to get the co-op commanders, you had to pay extra, or at least to get them at
Okay.
level 5. So that's interesting. Just sort of something they're changing. Looks like they need more money. That just seems like a thing that's like, oh, and this is extra
Hmm.
now. Do you want to go over the Hearthstone thing, or should I go into the Hearthstone thing? Because
It's pretty simple. It's basically
yeah,
there's
yeah.
a new, yeah, I'll take it. There's a new Hearthstone expansion that's basically a single player experience, and it's also free and repeatable. Um, so And then a couple other things. There's legendary weapon collectible cards for all the 9 classes.
And
Um,
that's pretty interesting because previously not all classes, some classes did not have weapon cards. So the priest had no weapon cards, but they had ways to get weapons cards,
hmm.
like by copying them from from the person across from them. And then there's
Oh, okay.
some neutral cards that will give you weapon cards, like if you lay down a minion and it gives you one when it dies or something. Or and then the warlock had like basically either the warlock gets possessed or dies and turns into a demon or something. I forget exactly how that works, but he has like an alternate form that you can get triggered somehow, and he has like a super OP weapon that he just brings into battle with him. Um, but now all classes will have weapon cards available to them just to be in their deck,
Hmm.
which
Gotcha.
which is interesting. Yeah. Sorry. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, well, because me and Ethan, when we were working together, um, that one summer, we both were like into Hearthstone a little bit, and we would play like on our iPads. So,
Mm.
but that was like a few years ago, so I'm not totally caught up with obviously
Yeah, I played
very
a few
complicated.
expansions into it, and I put because
It's fun.
if you want to get cards, like they want you to spend decent amounts of money rather
Yeah.
than earn everything with dust. And so I did like the first two expansions, maybe three, and then I was like, nah, no, I can't. This is gonna cost me too much money to play competitively.
Yeah. Um. So you can go over this new keyword because it's kind of over my head a little bit.
Okay, so there's a new keyword, meaning like cards will have a new effect available to them to use. Recruit. So basically, when you play a card that has recruit on it, just by playing it into the board, be it a minion or a spell, it will pull a random minion from your deck and not just put it into your hand, but place it on the board.
Hmm.
Um, so that's pretty interesting. I could see it being, I guess, really good for paladins and shamans. I think I like that, but oh, definitely a hunter too. So that'll be interesting.
Hmm. So, but in total, there's 135 new cards to add to your collection. So that's a lot.
Yep.
Get
Um,
better whip out that wallet.
yeah, yeah. And then Artful Dodger corrected us that the first pay to add campaign. So I guess with Nova Covert Ops, you paid for the expansion and you had to pay for the campaign. I'm guessing, which is,
Hmm.
or they just expanded it and you got the units. Um, like those just
So
came into multiplayer, and then you had to pay for the campaign separately or something.
that's stupid.
Yeah, yeah. So
That's just wrong.
yeah, it's like and it's confusing. Like
Yeah, a
I
little bit.
liked back when you could just go to the store. Back when you had to buy PC games at the store
Oh, like with the boxes and
with the
everything.
boxes. Yeah,
Oh, those were so cool.
dude, I loved going and like picking up the new Blizzard game. Like, boom, it's in a
And
box.
and
This is the
and
game.
discs and
Yeah,
now PCs don't even have an optical drive. They don't need them.
yeah. No, who needs an
Like,
optical drive at all?
yeah, not at all.
Not at all. Quick note: they announced that WoW vanilla servers are incoming eventually. Some people said it might be up to a year until we see these. I heard just some
Really?
rumors around the internet because there are a lot of changes that they have to make.
Right. Well, because it's vanilla WoW without any expansions on it.
Yeah, and there's gonna have to be compromises like things with there's things that like you can do in WoW now that you couldn't do back then, like looking for group, like to just run a dungeon with random people,
Right.
which some people want on vanilla WoW and some people do not want. And then there's things like being able to buy a mount from the store. You couldn't do that in Vanilla WoW. They're probably going to put that in. So it's not just launching like old source code servers. They sort of have to
Remake it.
a new game. Yeah, it's
I
basically a
kind of,
new
I
game.
think that's kind of cool. I mean, not that I've ever played WoW, but I
They've
could see like having the original game, but with all of the improvements. Because
yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, everything that they've changed, they've done for a reason. They've done it to improve the game. So having all the improvements on top of what the game originally was seems pretty cool.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see what it is. I never played Vanilla WoW, so I may, who knows, maybe I'll pay for $15 for a month or whatever, just go check it out. See if I can get to where I'm running a raid in a month. But also some things I heard were that they're going to be hiring, or they're going to try to hire a specific team for this, and people that are passionate about the project. People that actually want to make vanilla servers running, which I think is possibly a nod to some of the people that were running private servers for this, that WoW legally shut down within the last year. They shut down a couple studios that were doing this, or at least they shut down their activities, with vanilla WoW.
Right.
So maybe some of those people are going to be able to get a job. Maybe, World of Warcraft wasn't trying to, or Blizzard wasn't trying to shut down that dream, just protect their intellectual property or something, or make sure that they get that money. Um, so that could be pretty cool. Um, and then, do you want to go to the next thing, or?
Sure.
All right.
There's also a seventh expansion for WoW on top of that called Battle for Azeroth. There's new continents, Kulturas and Zandalar. And I don't know what those are because I've never played WoW.
Well, so they're new continents. So
Oh, okay.
they're
So
just
those are
completely new.
okay.
Yeah, they're new, basically continents on Azeroth. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Um, so there's Uncharted Islands PvP or PvE mode fighting for resources. Um, the Warfronts PvE mode, and just add on anything here if I go over it.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're adding it. What was interesting to me, like with the Plundering Uncharted Islands, which is a PvP or PvE mode, and then Warfronts, which is PvE,
Right.
is they did a lot of mini gaming, because this is not arena. These are not official raids. There are going to be new dungeons and new raids. Um, but in the past they've gotten a lot of flack for putting almost pointless mini games into the game. There was a lot of annoyances in Warlords. I didn't play it even, but from what I heard, Warlords of Draenor was super annoying because basically you had this constantly ongoing Clash of Clans base that you were trying to manage as a warlord. Um, and that was some of the game. Like basically you were logging into WoW to play Clash of Clans. Like it was almost a
Hmm.
mini game like that. And people really disliked it because it wasn't like playing WoW. It wasn't actually playing WoW, you know. This seems possibly better because you're actually like getting into play PvP or PvE. Um, Maybe an easier way for them to add content than always working on raids where you have to develop lore and stuff around it. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Hmm. Yep. So then on top of you mentioned the new dungeon and raids. There's a new level cap 120.
Yep.
So now what? That seems so. There's seven. I mean, obviously, WoW is like really old,
Hmm.
but so this is the seventh expansion, and the level cap is 120. So I wonder, is it is? Do you know what the old level cap was?
Uh, Either 110 or 115.
Okay, so I'm
Um,
thinking. So there's seven, and there's yeah. I would. It's probably 10 because every expansion probably added 10, and the original level cap was 50.
yeah, yeah.
That would make sense.
Real quick, hey Touchstones, new guy in the chat. Thanks for stopping by. Um, just want to say hey.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the Respawn Monday show.
Yep.
And then the last thing was recruit 6 new playable allied races. They're basically alternate versions of previous races, though.
Yeah, so four of those were from um 4 of those were like you made contact with those allied races in Legion, which was the previous expansion,
Okay.
and 2 are new to this game, probably from the lands that you go to, the separate different continents for each side, Horde versus Alliance. But now you'll be able to recruit them to this battle for Azeroth, and then once you finish those quests that it takes to recruit them, you'll be able to you have to complete that to play as that race, and then you can start a new character and level up through a different level up process. Like basically, you'll go through other zones that are, um,
Like faster?
no, harder for
Oh,
which may in turn make it faster because you get more experience and stuff. It basically said leveled up according to your level or something. I'm thinking maybe you're gonna see something like what we saw with Death Knights initially in the game, like where you have to get to level 50 and then you could become a Death Knight, and then you would. There's a whole nother storyline and whole other
hmm.
areas to play in the game. Uh,
That's pretty cool though.
yeah, yeah,
Like the whole like you have to kind of beat the story with those races, and then you can go ahead and make a character based off of one.
yeah, yeah. I
I
like
like
that.
that.
Elder Scrolls Online sort of did a similar thing. You could start as any race, but then once you finish um, your campaign's storyline and beat the end boss, you would play through the other campaign's storyline basically, um, with a few slight story changes, and that's how you would proceed from like level cap to prestiging because they had a whole not prestiging. I guess it. Yeah, I guess it basically was prestiging. Like you just
Hmm.
instead of like level 100, you became gold level 3 or something. You know.
Hmm. I like that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool because you get to it just constantly gives you new content. You don't have to restart a character.
Yeah.
And I really liked the leveling in Elder Scrolls Online because the quests just had so much effort put into them as far as storyline and character development went.
Hmm. All right. You think that's it for a while?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's move on to Overwatch, the last game we have here for BlizzCon. Probably the biggest, I would say, because it's obviously the newest game and just biggest
Mhm.
game right now.
Yep.
Like as far as Blizzard, definitely. Um, so they announced there's a new hero, Moira, and it's a support based hero that's also kind of like a hybrid of dealing damage but also healing.
Yep.
I
Right
don't know.
up
Did you
my
look?
alley. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you look at any gameplay?
I watched the trailer. I don't know if I saw any separate gameplay.
Okay.
Um, yeah, but I got the feel for what her skills were and everything.
Yeah. So
Um,
she has it's pretty interesting. I didn't watch a ton, but the gist of it is that she has a heal in her left hand, and then her right hand is damage. So her left hand kind of works like a recharge system, like your heal, and it kind of you fire it in a straight line, but it's not a lock on. So you have to aim it at your your allies, but then it once the meter depletes, then it slowly recharges. Like I'm talking about really slow. But the way to build it up faster is to deal damage. And so
uh,
but so your right hand that deals damage is like a lock on, kind of like Symmetra, but it's not as forgiving. Like Symmetras will lock on like 180 degrees type of thing, where it's like a hard
okay.
lock.
Yeah.
This one is a lot less. But so dealing more damage increases it increases your health meter faster, basically.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And then so those are her two main, like her primary and alternate, basically. And then she has, I don't know what it's called, but it's like the orb or whatever that's in the trailer. And
Yeah.
so you can choose if you want to do a healing orb or a damage orb.
And
And
it.
they kind of,
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
no, it kind of works like I don't like if Mercy is if she ults now her new healing beam, which will chain to other characters. So
Mhm.
the orb, if you say you do a healing orb, you throw it out as it's traveling, it'll latch onto every ally that's in the the vicinity
In
of
the
the orb.
vicinity, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and it'll heal them. And then same thing with the damage, but obviously damage the enemies.
Yeah, like sort of imagining like a healing or damaging wave, like a because it's like
Yeah,
bouncing along forward through things.
yeah. So I hear. Obviously, I haven't played it. It is on the PTR, I believe, though.
Oh, really?
Um,
Okay. Yeah, I'm
yep.
super excited to play her. Especially since I've been playing this week and I've been getting back into Anna, who's my main. Although I have been putting a lot of time into Orisa. Really big fan of that. But I like the idea, damage and healing, able to perform both roles.
Yeah. So let me just. I'm gonna double check right here. I don't want to say that she's live if she's not.
Okay.
Um, it does say that she's in the patch notes, so I would take it that she's on the PTR.
Okay. Yeah.
And we'll go into the notes later on, but um, what I heard though is that with the damage orb, the orb actually does a lot of damage. Like
Oh.
if you don't get away from it,
Hmm.
and then her ultimate is kind of like I don't know. It's kind of like a mix of like everything. She does like a I don't know like a what kind of and basically, she just like does like a really crazy beam move, and she shoots out this beam of both yellow and the purple. So it's like it basically heals and damages.
Yeah,
So
it's
if it
a
goes through your go ahead.
it's a Lux beam that also heals your allies, essentially. Like,
Yeah,
but it
yeah.
lasts a lot
So
longer.
yeah, so you can move it around, and you're trying to obviously either depending on what you're doing, healing your allies or damaging. But I'm obviously haven't been able to play it, but I would assume that it does both if there's if there's two an enemy and an ally in front of you.
Yeah,
Like it.
yeah, I believe it can do both.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So what the little gameplay I saw of this ultimate, it does a lot of damage to enemies. So she definitely is like a mix of like healing and damage. So which I think is really cool, like being able to kind of play both.
Yeah, yeah, no, I love it.
So so yeah, brand new hero and a support which was needed because I think support was they had the least amount of characters for that role. And then there's the new map, Blizzard World, and it's basically a Blizzard theme park map. So it has whether it's WoW or Hearthstone or I don't know, I think Diablo,
Mm.
although besides Overwatch, which obviously because like if
If you had an
which
Overwatch themed theme park,
yeah, well,
I guess you could throw it in there. It'd be like the police station.
yeah, well, it's not in there, but I had originally thought it would be, and it'd be funny because you'd be on this map, but then you'd also see like Overwatch within it, and it'd be
Yeah.
kind of funny, but
It could be like the
it's
security booth. Like,
yeah. So, but yeah, no, I think it's a pretty cool like idea as far as it's definitely different, kind of. I don't know, it's kind of like interesting, like having uh, like like having a game and a map based off of the developer's other games is kind of just like funny to me.
yeah, yeah, and I actually really like theme park themed maps. Um, couple that I think Tony Hawk has had a few. Or at least like I think they had a roller coaster map and a zoo map. Um, I liked there's a theme park map in CS:GO. Like I don't know, it's always a fun theme. Like definitely takes you out of the game a little bit, but
Yeah, yeah, I think it's cool. I think I'm not sure about the new character, but I know the new because there's also I'm going to talk about next. We're going to talk about next is the new skins, but the I know for sure the new map and the new skins aren't supposed to come until next year. So gotta wait a little
okay.
bit.
Yeah.
But the new skins is kind of in line with the map. Is that some of them are based off of like Blizzard's other games. Like for example, I guess a couple of them are based off of Diablo. I think Butcher Roadhog and then Barbarian Zarya. are kind of based off of Diablo characters. Not that I've played that game because yeah.
Yeah. Well, I haven't played it either, but um, I think cross. It only makes sense to like mix and match things inside your
Yeah.
uh franchises.
Yeah. So okay, so there's Magne, Bronzebeard, Torbjorn, Nova, Widowmaker, Barbarian Zarya, Black Hand, Doomfist, Butcher, Roadhog, and then Crusader Reinhardt and Eco Point May. And so Crusader Reinhardt is based off of the new short that we got, which is based on Reinhardt and his
Oh.
younger self. And so that skin is based off of the short. And then same thing with Eco Point May. That was the same skin from her short.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean Crusader Reinhardt's really cool. He's like super young and he has like the gold locks and everything. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
That was a good short, definitely.
yeah. I think my favorite is Barbarian Zyra. I can't say it. Just because I out of all of them, I probably like Zarya the best, and I think that's a pretty cool skin, being the look of it and barbarian. I think it fits her character and everything.
Yeah, I haven't seen all these, but what is a little like Zarya just got a super good
Mm-hmm.
skin for the Halloween, her 80s costume. It's her best
Yep.
it's her best skin for sure. Um
You like it more than the Iron Man Zarya?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Like
Okay.
I don't have it and I don't play Zarya a lot. But I think that's definitely her best skin.
Yeah. Yeah, these well, okay, so all these skins aren't tied to an event. They're all just new legendary skins that will be available, forever once they come out through obviously loot boxes and everything. So it's kind of like the yeah, no, it's kind of like it's not event based, so you'll be able to unlock them whenever.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Okay, we can move on to the next thing from BlizzCon was the World Cup. And South Korea won for the second straight year, and they beat Canada in the last game
Oh wow.
or series.
That's pretty cool.
So, but not that I paid too close attention to the games, but I do know that because the first round was USA and South Korea, and that it was a pretty close matchup.
Hmm.
So,
Well, that's good.
but
I had been hearing from some like esports commentators that like like China and Korea are like way out of North America's leagues. Um but it's good to hear that it was a close game, you know.
yeah, yeah, definitely. So yeah, I mean competition is good, especially because South Korea or Korea always wins
Yeah.
esports games,
Everything, yeah.
everything. um, but yeah, no, I think that was kind of it as far as our main topic. We'll go
Yeah.
into our news section. The first thing we're gonna do is more Overwatch
More
stuff, which
Overwatch, yeah.
which is from BlizzCon, but we kind of just want to separate certain news from the discussion. So,
Yeah. Yep.
um, do you think you're good with the
Yeah.
everything that
Yeah,
we?
I'll get
Yeah.
into it.
Okay.
So we got a couple hero changes for first off in the patch notes. Anna's biotic rifle, the damage is being increased from 60 to 70. Sick.
Yeah.
I love it.
So, well, because so they not too long ago they nerfed her because she was like the center of the meta basically with
Oh wow.
the tank meta and everything. So they kind of they
Yeah.
kind of took back her damage, but now she's not played a lot, so they're kind of bringing her back, especially because Mercy's kind of stolen the show with all of her craziness.
Oh yeah. Well, just even with being changed so much so often, you know?
Yeah,
Like it just keeps her in play cuz people want to see how it works out. Um I think that yeah, it's super good to bring Anna back because yeah, you see I mean, honestly, when I play Orisa, I want a Mercy because I want that resurrect,
yeah.
and
Well,
she'll
it's
and
yeah,
she'll probably give it to me. but
yeah.
but I like to play Anna too, so this is great.
And so the
Um,
next thing is about Mercy once again. She's getting more changes.
yeah, yeah. So Mercy's Resurrect, the cast time has increased from 0 seconds to 1.75 seconds. Sorry.
Yeah, so there wasn't a cast time before, it was instant, and so now it's there's almost a 2 second cast time to resurrect someone.
Yeah, that's pretty intense.
Yeah, and there's
Um,
also movement speed reduction or debuff to it, which is 75%. So essentially, you can still move around, but like barely. It's basically you're stuck in this almost 2 second animation to cast someone or to resurrect someone.
hmm. Um, well,
Yeah,
yeah. So her movement speed has also been reduced. Oh, yeah, this is what you just said by
yeah,
75% while casting. Yeah, that stinks.
yeah. And
And
now, yeah, go ahead.
can now be interrupted when Mercy is knocked back, stunned, or hacked.
Yep.
So
So Winston ult or Vi, not Vi. Oh my god. um, Doomfist.
Reinhardt too, right?
Yes.
He would have some options for
It's
that if
it's so funny
she's
how I thought
underground.
of like Doomfist with the big fist as Vi from League because they're
Yeah,
essentially the same.
they're essentially the same character.
Yeah.
Nice.
Um, or like okay, so stun. So McCree.
Yep.
I think he does only stun, right?
And hacked, referring
Yeah.
specifically to Sombra.
Yep.
All
So it's definitely a big nerf, like big nerf.
And I mean, this is the second nerf in a row, right? Because before you could resurrect a whole team, and
Yeah.
now
Yep.
it's
They
single.
they
It's single player, but it's more frequent. And then
yeah.
they changed the cooldown settings last time. Actually,
Yep.
that's the last thing we heard about was the cooldown changes.
Yeah. Because so the ultimate didn't reset it anymore.
Yeah.
But then so because there's a cast time now, when you ult, there is no cast time. So you're kind of, it's basically like your ult makes it like the way it is before or is now live.
Oh.
And also so you don't get the movements. You don't your movement speed doesn't get reduced either. So your ult is basically returning it to exactly how it is now. So it kind of feels bad, like
Mhm.
you're getting all these nerfs, but you're like, oh, but your ult kind of gets rid of those nerfs.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
So, but I mean, at that point, it makes the ult powerful. It stinks that now it stinks. It just stinks that you're getting such a big nerf.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it's kind of like needed. Like the ability has been kind of off the walls. Like I don't know. It's the thing. Like I haven't. It kind of stinks talking about it. Like I haven't played, but what I've heard about it seems ridiculous. Like being able to just resurrect one, even though it's one person, like every 30 seconds is really big.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. Like last week when I played, um, I got rezzed a lot. I would say it
Yeah,
was nice.
yeah.
Um,
So now it'll almost be like Mercy has to be way more careful when she's trying to resurrect someone because you're going to be moving like really slow, like a McCree or Soldier. Anyone can just kind of take you out a lot easier.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I almost feel like the movement speed isn't needed, like the reduction. Like
Uh,
you already have a cast time of almost 2 seconds, like, but now like you're basically gonna be standing still while doing it.
yeah, like I could see if they slowed it down, like even to 25%, definitely. I could see 35%. 50, I think would even be a bit strong, but
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. Who knows?
yeah,
They've been changing her pretty much every other week, so
yeah, it's true.
we could see more changes next week. Don't get too down about it.
Yeah. All right, we have a bunch of other things to go through, so I'm gonna kind of do the Overwatch League kind of quickly and do a gist of it. I don't know
Okay.
how much you read up on it.
I did not read any of this, so
Okay.
I'll try to jump in where I can.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, just go for
So
it.
yeah. Okay. So the Overwatch League has kind of been laid out as far as how it's gonna work and the schedule, everything. So preseason starts December 6th through the 9th, and then the regular season starts January 10th, and it runs into June. All 12 teams will play 40 games, and games will be held 4 days a week, and that's Wednesday through Saturday. So if you're just in the mood to watch some competitive league, not league, competitive Overwatch. Um, you can, Wednesday through Saturday, there's going to be games on. There's going to be the postseason is going to be a month long, and there's 12 teams, and then only 6 of those will make it into the postseason. And we know the championship game is. We already know when it's going to be. It's going to be held on January 28th, and the grand prize for the title is $1 million, which is pretty cool, I would say.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, like it's team. It's not like these like the kids playing because they're already making money from the teams. Like the team is basically getting a bonus, kind of like normal sports, like say basketball. Like if you make it into like the finals, your team is getting more money from, the revenue from the league and your venue and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so the season works this way. It's made up of 4 stages, and each stage lasts 5 weeks. There's 3 matches a day, and like I said, Wednesday through Saturday. And there's only going to be 4 maps being used for this season. So we don't know what maps there will be yet, but it'll be good, I think, for the teams because they'll really be able to learn those 4 maps, and they'll know going into it kind of what to expect and how they can strategize for each map.
Yeah, and it says also open to draws.
Yeah. So
So,
it's kind of like, soccer or football. You can
yep,
have a draw.
yep. That's a pretty good idea. I like it. See it in CS:GO and allows teams to, you know, focus on what they need to practice. And there's a bit of a meta in CS:GO. There's basically picks and bans for maps. So I think first both teams pick a map, then both teams ban a map, and then you sort of whittle out what's in the map pool. There's tons of maps other than that, but you whittle out what's in the map pool because you have to play because they do best out of 3, best out of 5 sometimes. They don't really do best out of 5 anymore, but for best out of 3s, you need 3 different maps,
Yeah.
and so they try to get through the map pool like that. I don't know if we'll see the same system here, but I do think that it's effective for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
You're able
I'm
to
not
set up this
exactly
competition with
sure.
it.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how every like match is considered. Like I don't know if they'll only play like one because like it'll be like a competitive match, right? Like you play on a certain map, like say it's a payload map, and then you take turns seeing how far you can get, and then if both of you get to 3, there's a sudden death. So I don't know if like each team will play just once or if there'll be like a best of 3. I don't think they necessarily highlighted that. Um,
Yeah, because some things are already best of 3. Like the maps are designed as best of 3s.
right. So I don't know if that could be considered one game like in itself, or I don't know. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what they consider one match because I don't think they said.
You never know. The championship could have different rules than the preseason
Yeah,
because if you're playing 4 days a week, do you really need best of 3s every day? Like that might get to be a little bit much.
probably
Um,
not. Probably not because if there's 3 matches, so it's a team that's half of the teams playing. So I would so that okay. So the math is a team plays twice a week
okay.
that way because if there's 3 matches, that's 6 teams playing once. I would imagine. So like as a fan,
Yeah.
you're gonna be able to watch 3 matches, which can take up to 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how well they do, or how
Hmm.
close it is. So I mean, I'm not 100% on that, so don't quote me, but that's what we know.
Yeah.
Um, so the final Saturday of each stage. So it's 5 weeks. So on the 5th week, the final Saturday, it will feature 2 title matches where the top 3 teams by standings during that stage will have a seeded playoff for $125,000. And then after that stage, there'll be a 10-day break before the next batch of games begin. So in between, um, so for each stage, there's going to be kind of like a grand prize, which I'll kind of highlight later because there's also prizes for coming in like in second and everything. So the way the league is broken up is there's going to be 2 divisions. So we have the Pacific and then Atlantic. So the Pacific includes Dallas, Los Angeles, both Los Angeles teams, San Francisco, and then the Korea teams. And then the Atlantic division includes Boston, Florida, Houston, London, New York, and Philadelphia.
Wow. Only
Yep.
London.
Yeah.
No German teams, no Nordic teams.
No European teams.
Wow.
So I would imagine, like, obviously, I would imagine there'd be even more teams next year.
Yeah. It's
Well,
just what it is for now.
yeah, because I definitely think there'll be more, but I think
Yeah.
they're trying to keep it to a core, and they'll see how it plays. It seems I don't know. I think this is crazy for like a esport to be this like I don't know. It's so set up in a way where it feels like a real sport. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
But so teams will play 20 games within their division and 20 games cross division in a season. So each team will play 40 games. Um, and then the way the postseason works is that the top team in each division goes into the postseason and gets a bye week, kind of like football, if you're familiar with the NFL. And then no, so the football works similarly, where if you have the best record in, I think it might be the con. No, I think it's Division Two. You get the first, like basically matchup or week. You don't have to play, but the other teams do.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So there's six teams. The top two of each division uh, goes ahead, obviously, and they don't have to play the first week. And then they're joined by the next four teams with the best record, regardless of division. So you could theoretically get a lopsided postseason where maybe all four teams are on, from Pacific, say, if all teams are better than Atlantic. So it doesn't have to be two from Pacific and two from Atlantic. It's just the next four teams with the best record. Um, and then so currently all the matches are happening in Los Angeles because teams don't have like their own venues yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
But
are we gonna go see some Boston games or something? Like,
no, that would
no.
be like I think definitely in the future. Like I think that'd
Yeah,
actually be like really
that'd be
cool.
super
Where
sick.
yeah,
I don't know that I'm going or anything, but if I do get to go to E League or PAX East, like, I to see my first esports competition, I'd be super psyched.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Like
Like in person, not like watching on TV and stuff. But yeah, it's pretty cool. From the chat, Cooper Lavin said, "NFL, is this like ESPN or something?"
yes,
And then
we're
and then Connor, Sam Screw wants you to tell him who to put in tonight on his fantasy football.
I can do that. I do play fantasy football, and I can tell him who to put in. So if he chats back who he has on his team, I'll let you know.
He also
um,
was trying to get us to play a Star Wars clip earlier, but I said, why don't we wait for a Star Wars show to do that on?
we could. I'm not against. Well, is he talking about like the movie trailer, maybe?
No, he said a funny clip. If I Discord it,
Oh,
will you play it? 20 seconds clean. Which totally
okay,
makes me
gotcha.
think it's not clean.
Right. um, okay, and then the last thing for Overwatch League before we move on is
Mhm.
that like I mentioned, there's $125,000 for every stage for the winner, and then but there's also regular season placement bonuses. So if you're in first place, your team gets $300,000. Second place, 200,000. Third and fourth place, 150,000. Fifth and sixth place, 100,000. Seventh and eighth, 75. Ninth and 10th, 50,000. And 11th and 12th place, 25,000 each.
And that's for the
Um,
team, not for the players.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So like there's team owners and everything. So
hmm
that's
It's gonna get
so
broken up and everything, but it's
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Um, And then okay, and then the championship. So for the playoffs and the championship, the placement bonuses. Like I said, if you win, the world champion gets $1 million. The runner up gets 400,000. Third and fourth place gets 100,000. Fifth and sixth get 50,000. The total is 1.7 million for that. So I think all together for everything, the total prize pool is 3.5 million.
Hey, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at it, world champion U.S. $1 million. You got 6 players. You have staff, uh, coaches, expenses. I'm sure there's like an
Oh
amount
yeah, I
that
mean
goes to the
if
organization automatically.
yeah, I
So
mean if the team has to fly to Angeles for
every
every
week,
week,
yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
think if you get that $1 million prize, like maybe the players are going home with 100,000 each. Maybe.
no, I wouldn't even think so.
Yeah, I would think even less, but
I don't think they see like maybe there's like a little
a bonus they
bonus.
get.
Yeah, no, I don't because I mean I would say the owner. So I think the buy-in to own a team is like 20 million.
Wow.
So I don't. I mean, maybe the players get a little. Hey, thanks for doing a good job in winning.
Mhm.
Um, but I don't think the players really see much of that or any.
Yeah.
But
I
but,
could
but
see that as well.
we know they get a salary like
Yeah,
they're
they get a
sideline.
salary. They're gonna get bonuses and stuff like that for
Yeah,
just what team places where at the end of the
yeah,
season. So
exactly. So, but yeah, it's definitely different than any esport. It's crazy. It's
yeah,
they're going all out.
for sure.
Oh, really quickly, I wanted to say what each team's name was because it's interesting and funny.
Okay.
We have Dallas Fuel, Los Angeles Gladiators, and Los Angeles Valiant, San Francisco Shock, Seoul Dynasty, and Shanghai Dragons,
Okay.
and then Boston Uprising, Florida Mayhem, Houston Outlaws, London Spitfire, New York Excelsior. I don't even know. Microsoft Excel, um, and then Philadelphia Fusion.
All
So
right.
they're
Yeah.
pretty cool. I
Yeah.
like maybe besides New York. Maybe if I knew what that word meant, I'd like it more. But
Excelsior. I don't know what's that. That's what's his face's word? Stanley's word.
really,
Excelsior. Yeah, he always says it.
oh,
Like in which movie? Age of Ultron when he gets drunk on Thor's little flask. That's what he says
yeah,
as they're like carrying him out.
oh,
Excelsior.
okay. I think I remember that.
And then Cooper says that Corky says it too. But yeah, I
Huh.
don't. It's probably just something about being the best.
Hmm. But yeah, no, I think it's cool.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then so for anyone who doesn't know, there is home and away skins for the characters in the game for each team.
Whoa.
So like, okay, for example, I think I may be wrong, but say for example, we have San Francisco Shock. Say their colors are purple and green. Then each character has a home jersey, unquote, where the character has green and purple in a certain way for every Overwatch character. And then there's the away, which is mostly white.
So that's 12 teams.
Yep,
24 for
25. I think it's 25
25. Why?
characters, champions.
Oh, 25 champions. Yeah, but I was thinking. So that's 24 um
Oh, right.
jerseys or skins needing to be made
Yeah,
for each character.
for each character.
Holy crap.
Yeah, and it mostly is a recolor of like their base skin,
Mhm.
but it's still pretty crazy, like considering all the teams and they each get their own like. And then you also can as players ourselves, we can then buy those skins in the game as
Oh,
well.
really?
Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
But
That'd be sick. Yeah.
there is something for us players that we can buy in the game to kind of support the team that we like.
Yeah.
I know that's fact.
That makes sense.
So
So Cooper said Excelsior, a Latin word often translated as ever upward or still higher. And that's a good name for a team. You could definitely see
yeah.
people get
Well,
behind that.
all right, I like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, and then so I just wanted to say I kind of grabbed a lot of this stuff from PC Gamer, so I just want to give props to them for kind of breaking it down I did run over to Overwatch's rundown of where they posted everything, but I just wanted to say they did a good job of making it simple.
Yeah, I was thinking about that this week while I was getting stuff together. I mean, I got all the stuff for BlizzCon from the Blizzard website, straight off the Blizzard website. But
Yeah.
I was like, do I get stuff from other websites? I was like, I should give credit.
Yeah.
So yeah, no,
Well,
that's a good job. Thanks. Shout
yeah,
out to PC Gamer for a great
yeah,
article.
I like them. For anyone, I used to listen to their podcast a ton, and then Tom Marks left, who used to host it, and now he works for IGN. And
Uh,
so the podcast I feel kind of went downhill once he left, unfortunately. Um, but I still like. I mean, as a PC gamer, I like them because they cover PC games. So yeah.
yeah, sweet.
Talking about Battlefront 2 real quick. I'll do this because you can hit a PUBG. It's real
Okay.
quick Battlefront 2 stuff.
Yep.
As we know, the game is still approaching. Early access is the 9th, and I will be playing that, and maybe I'll stream it. I don't know yet. Um, Recently, we did get to see Kylo Ren and Yoda gameplay finally, and it's amazing. Kylo Ren has the best gameplay we have seen yet. The best. If you have not seen it, then go watch it because it's really awesome. um, and then so real quick, the game changers, who are certain content creators who cover Battlefront, who have been not just Battlefront, but certain popular content creators have been invited to play the full game this past Thursday and Friday. I think one day they got to play the single player, and then one day they played multiplayer. And this is so they can record gameplay for the channels prior to actual release or the early access, so they can kind of get their gameplay, prepare their videos, and then I would say Wednesday evening, I would say they will probably be posting them, and you'll be able to see the full game and whatever answers they have for us. You can find out everything you need to know right before early access. Is my best guess. And then, in particular, Battlefront updates, who I like the most for Battlefront only stuff. He has 2 interviews with the lead design director for Battlefront, who is Dennis Brandval, and they'll be coming out probably around the same time.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yep. So the game it's coming. I'll be able to play it this week, which is exciting.
Oh yeah.
And then
Sweet.
for 10 hours anyways. And then we have the Battlefront 2 launch party that we're having over at Elias' studio on the 17th.
Yep.
So, and we'll be streaming that, so it'll be fun. Good
For
times.
sure. Come on, stop by. I've been brainstorming ideas for like camera placement for the group, or like maybe I'll make a new layout to like get anyone's if any of the guys want their Twitter handles or Twitches, on screen or whatever.
Yeah, I might stream as well, do a little duel. I'm not sure yet. I got set up OBS better because I tried to stream Need for Speed, and it actually went decent. I was surprised it worked. But I can say this for sure: during the stream, at some point, we will be playing a candy corn throwing game, and we're gonna do something interactive if anyone's watching. So, if you're watching, you'll be able to maybe, I don't know, you can tell us to eat lots of candy corn.
You know what? Connor, CM Screw, is trying to get us to play that clip, and I was thinking, you know what would be even more fun, especially for that Battlefront 2 stream party? Like, maybe submit a bunch of Star Wars clips, because it makes more sense than doing it during the show. Like, because people will do that a little bit, watch a video with their audience and whatnot. So totally, we could even put it on the big screen. I'll set it up so that we can watch them on the big screen, and you can see our reactions or something. So that could be super fun. Maybe we can work that into the game. Sounds like Nick's got some ideas that I haven't heard about. I'm excited.
Yeah, that was just one off the top of my head that I was like excited for because we kind of did it last time.
Yeah,
and it was fun.
Yeah, sweet.
What was I gonna say? I forget. We can move on.
Okay. Yeah, if you think probably about the launch, but if you think about it, jump in. I'll do PUBG and then Arc, and then you have some other stuff down there possibly.
Yeah, we can kind of wrap up the show at that point.
Okay, sweet. PUBG hit 2.5 1.1 million peak players on 11/3. Was that Saturday? A.M.
Yes.
Eastern, 3 p.m. CET, 11 p.m. Korea Standard Time, of
Yeah,
course.
it's usually around 10 to 11 p.m. Korea time, 9 to
Yeah,
10 our time.
yeah, that makes sense. Um, Nothing new as far as the first cycle of testing goes, but it seems that they're still trying to implement better anti-cheat measures instead.
Yeah.
So that's pretty
So
cool.
it's kind of weird. They said that, like our last show, we had said that so for last week, they were going to have the first cycle out of vaulting. And all of a sudden, they just never put it out. And they were like, we have to do this anti cheat stuff instead. And so it's been a week, almost a week since they said that. So it's kind of like, don't know what's going on. Obviously, there must be running into some type of issues. Maybe they had a bunch of cheaters and they have to do that first. We're not sure.
Either that or there's an issue with putting the
Yeah.
vaulting thing live, and instead they're like, well, we have to do this now because we can't do that. And we got
Yeah.
to keep working. So who
It,
knows? I mean, it's
it,
it's
it
still
kind of
good.
sounds like that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
still good. Like I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
Um,
hopefully it comes soon. I mean, hopefully, well, because we know they said late December, PC 1.0 version will come out. So as long as they can stick to that, I mean, I don't care when the cycles come out.
cool. Yeah, for sure. All right. So then on Arc, just real quick, they raised $60,000 for Extra Life for charity this past weekend.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's really crazy. I did not expect that out of the Arc community, just to be
Yeah,
honest. And because of that, they were sort of playing a game with the community where for every $5,000 donated, official server rates were raised by 0.5x, and we were already at a 2x weekend. Official servers hit 8x rates at one point, 3 hours before they turned off, because they turned off at noon Pacific, either Pacific Standard Time or Eastern Standard Time. I forget exactly, but
yeah,
that's pretty crazy. That's how high the rates got. I was able to use it to my advantage a little bit, but I'm sure
nice.
everyone else went crazy.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting to see what the servers look like after this weekend. But I mean, yeah, just the main point being that's super sick.
yeah,
Yeah, I didn't expect that.
yeah. No, that's really awesome. Cause I know I think a bunch of streams did that, right?
Yeah, yeah. Extra Life's a really crazy thing. People do 24-hour streams all the time.
That's
But
awesome.
that was one of the highest amounts I saw. So that's
Well,
awesome.
that's really awesome. Yeah, okay. So last thing I wanted to cover before we wrap up the show was this is something I saw right before we went live. Actually, it was a brand new champion for League of Legends, and we don't really cover League of Legends because it's such a well covered game, I would say.
Yeah.
But we do play it here and there. I've been playing it since 2012. Don't really play it too much anymore, but it is one of those games that I will always come back to every now and again. But so the new champion is Zoe, the aspect of Twilight, and basically it's like a very star, cute, sparkly champion kind of. And I would just go on YouTube and look at her abilities. I won't cover it too much, but one of the notable ones is her W is called Spell Thief. And so enemy summoner spells and active item cast drop spell shards on the ground for an extended period of time. And so she can collect one of these spell shards, and that will grant her one cast of that spell or active item. So if an enemy champion flashes, it will drop a little circular type shard on the ground, and you can pick it up, and you'll be able to use it and flash, which is pretty different. We haven't seen that before on a new champion, so I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And then her ultimate is called Portal Jump. It's very troll actually. It's like
Hmm.
the description is you briefly teleport to a targeted position and then you teleport back. You can use abilities and attack normally and see over walls, but you won't be able to move. So it's very brief. You kind of teleport at your target and then you automatically go back. You don't like auto, or you don't recast it. You don't you don't have any control over like the duration part of it.
Okay.
but your character kind of drops in a hole through the ground, pops up a hole where you casted it, and then kind of makes like a you kind of stick out your tongue, and then you go back. It's pretty funny. Um, so yeah, interesting champion that's coming. I don't know. I think she's a mid lane champion. I would assume.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So yeah, she's pretty cool. Another new champion for League. They have a lot. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up really quick because it literally happened today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but all right, what's that?
No, no, no. You're fine. You're fine.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Polls and trivia. We don't have a question this week. However, I'm gonna bring up something else after I go over last week's. Okay, so the last week's question was because we had the single player versus multiplayer discussion, and we asked which one's more important to people, and along with co-op, we added in there. And multiplayer actually won. It had 46% compared to single player's 38%. And then co-op got 16, so only a couple people. Which, yeah. So, multiplayer I think is just very popular in games nowadays. But
Yeah.
obviously, I think it's a tough question. I think a lot of
It
people
it
still
was
like
a
single.
very tough question. I
Yeah,
I had to answer multiplayer because that's is what's important to me. I want single player to be more important to me, but I had to say multiplayer for sure.
yeah, yeah. I agree because I mean, when I do game, I like to game with friends. So that's and
Yeah.
more. I would say it's more important to me.
Yeah, you got to multitask.
Yeah, exactly.
you know.
So, okay, so we don't have a question this week, but I was going to throw it out to you guys. If you guys want to throw us a question that you personally have for us or the show, or if you want to just relate an experience that we can talk about on the show, then hit us up either on Twitter at Respawn Mondays, or you can actually email us at respawn.mondays@gmail.com. So if you
Yeah.
guys want to send something in, something funny, question, anything, you can go ahead and do that, and we'll talk about it on the show.
Yeah. If you want to tweet at us, do we want to put like a hashtag just to make it easily searchable? Like a AskRM or
Yeah,
yeah. Try to use if it hasn't been used yet. I don't know if it hasn't been used. If it hasn't been used, use ask hashtag AskRM while you tweet at us. That way we'll know it's for the Q&A next week.
do it up. Okay. All right. So, yes. Okay. So, like we said, our Twitter is Respawn Mondays, our Twitch is Respawn Mondays, and our YouTube is Respawn Mondays. So, go check us out. You can also find us on any type of podcasting app if you want to see our older shows. And yeah. Cool. Well, no, yeah, you
Do
can.
you want me to shout myself
Yeah,
out before you shout yourself out? Sounds good.
go for it.
Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube are all Tolmaeth. Come watch me. I try to stream Arc, Paragon. I'm gonna try to break into some single player stuff, so we'll see. I don't know, but yeah, that's where you
Yeah.
can find me.
You can find you can find me at Nikki Girl Gaming on YouTube. I recently hit 10,000 lifetime views, so now I can start putting ads on my videos so you guys hate me.
Yep,
Um,
and we're
which
putting ads.
no, yeah, I probably won't, not unless I really start making videos regularly. But if you want to check out any of my stuff there, Nikki Girl Gaming, and then if you want to follow me on Twitch, it's Nikki Girl. No, yeah, no, Nikki Girl 007. And I possibly will be streaming Battlefront 2 on Thursday if you want to see some early access gameplay of Battlefront 2. So check me out there. And I think the last thing before we say goodbye, if you like the show and you like us, or if you hate us, regardless, go to iTunes and leave us a review because that helps the show. And we want to hear your feedback regardless. Even if you don't like the show, just tell us why. So you guys can go ahead and do that. But all right, guys, this has been Respawn 9, and I've been Nick Berry.
I'm Elias Christensen.
And thanks for joining with us. And thanks for respawning. I'm gonna say it again because
Do
I'm
it.
gonna edit. I'm gonna edit this in the. I'm gonna edit this in the podcast. So any live people are gonna be like, these guys suck. Okay, here we go. I forgot where I left off, but and thanks for respawning with us.
We'll catch you next week.
Do, 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 do.